They do not have to vote for John McCain. It will not affect anything unless you like him. Vote for him. But if you like Ron Paul, vote for him May 6th. If you like Huckabee, vote for him May 6th. If you like Romney, we prefer you all to vote Ron Paul, but that's
The most important thing about May 6th, you got to decide whether you want to vote in the Democrat primary or the Republican primary.
Okay.
If you want to vote, a lot of people, I honestly believe, are going to vote in the Democrat primary because they have a choice for the presidential candidate. People who would normally vote Republican will vote in the Democrat primary.
But they do still have a choice with the Republican Party, too. They still have a choice. I mean, as long as Ron Paul's on the ballot.
Well, my point was going to be the more important choice is not for president. It's more important is in the community.
It is now, see, now that's not fair. I'm going to have to take issue with that because now that's saying that Hoosiers don't have the same voice as other. I understand what you're trying to say, but I still think it's very important for people to go out on May 6th and cast their vote, no matter what, for the Republican side, because they still need to have a voice. Because if we go with that theory that only the Democrats, then that means the Republicans in Indiana have no voice. And that's what's making me frustrated.
Well, my point was going to be that...
I know you weren't implying that. But
my point was going to be that the presidential vote is not the important vote in this primary. It's your local individuals. Here in Allen County, I think we have 2 or 3 individuals that are running for county council on the Republican side. I'll just speak Republican side because I'm...
Absolutely, and that's what we identify with.
Conservative voice. We've got people in the, depending on which state congressional district you live in, who are running in opposed races. It's more important you look at those individuals who are closest to you, people you can walk down the street and perhaps have an opportunity to meet who you might want to vote for, as opposed to being, concerned is not a good word, who's going to be the presumptive Republican nominee. There is a very good chance that just because the numbers say right now that John McCain is going to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States, fine. But what's more important to you, to each individual here? Who's going to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States? Who's going to be the nominee in your congressional district? Who's going to be the nominee?
Both, I think, is important. You're right, local is where we should have started, and in most great things that's where. But because of who Ron Paul is, and he's so consistent, we want to start top down as far as we know we're getting to. But we want to say a voice. This is very important because, you know, people are running on change in this election. And I personally, and I think a lot of them, we personally believe if you really, really want change, the only person you're going to get drastic change, whether you like it or not, is Ron Paul. Because he's the only one that has a record to back up. So it is very important us to, especially as Hoosiers that have no voice, because we're late in the process, as conservatives that we're left with nothing for conservatives.
And the most amazing thing is what change is taking place is really something that is consistent. I mean, the change is ironic that the change now is actually to go back to the Constitution.
Yeah.
You know, that's the, we have drifted so far from what is supposed to be.
That it's sad we're fighting to get out.
Now we have to make a huge effort in change to go back to where we should have been.
I agree with that. And if anybody caught it, I'll plug HBO. HBO is having a mini-series, John Adams, I saw the first 2 parts. On the 16th, the show's on, not always aired when today's St. Patty's Day for us. That's when we're filming this show. So it was on the 16th, anybody gets a chance, watch it. Maybe it'll shake us up to remember where we came from and what we're fighting for. And not saying everything they did was great, but it's pretty amazing, and that's what we feel we're fighting for, not just locally, you know, about getting involved in politics because it's the right thing to do. I think the Ron Paul people feel at this point we're fighting for our very country.
We are,
and our sound money.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that in the next show I tape. I want to talk about economics because it's a mess.
Oh, that's crazy.
And they're acting like that nobody has ever predicted it. Well, that's not true. People have been saying the same thing. And that's our complaint, is they feed you this line, and then, you know, now we're so far that we have to shake things up.
And when we were talking about the whole unity thing, that's where I have come to, because I've been consistently a Republican. But until Ron Paul came along, I was ready to throw in the towel and say, forget it, I'm not even voting, because I couldn't even see a difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party.